This video covers the basics of using Palmtech on your desktop, laptop, or tablet PC. We'll be taking a look at how to start a new inspection, fill out information, add pictures, and we'll see what the report we create looks like. To get started, we're going to start a new inspection, and we do this by clicking on the Palmtech icon on our desktop. This will bring up the main Palmtech menu. To start a new inspection, we're going to click on the button for Start New Inspection in the top left corner. Next, we need to choose what template we want to use. The Palmtech program comes with a lot of templates for different types of homes you might be inspecting, templates for mold and radon inspections, and the expansion pack includes a series of templates for individual systems and mechanicals. The template we're going to choose is the house template because this includes one of everything needed for a basic home inspection. So we'll simply select the template and then click on Start New. This is where we give our file a name. Let's go ahead and call this 123 Somewhere Street, and then we'll click on Save. We're now ready to get started. On the left hand side of the screen, we have a list of our different categories. And as you click on the different categories, you'll see the inspection items for that category shows up over here on the right. Let's go ahead and start working with the lots and grounds categories. On the right hand side, you'll see that we're working from a series of columns. This first column is for your ratings. Next, we have a column that has what the actual inspection item is. After that, we have the description or the material. And then finally, we have a spot for notes. Each line item works straight across the line. So let's go ahead and fill out our driveway line. So first we'll go to our rating. And as you can see here, these are the standard ratings that come with the out-of-the-box software with Palmtech. These are completely customizable by you. And for more information on how to customize them, watch the video on customizing ratings. With that said, we'll say that the driveway is in good shape, so we're going to mark it as acceptable. We'll come over here to the description, and we'll say that it's asphalt. And so now we've filled out the driveway line, and we're ready to move on to walks. We're going to say that the walks are also acceptable and that they're made of brick. So we'll select brick. So let's say that as we walk along the side of the house, we see that some of the walks are actually made out of concrete. So we want this to say both brick and concrete. And to do this, we'll go right back to our drop down and we'll click on the plus sign next to concrete. And now it has both items there. And now we're ready to move on to steps and stoops. We're going to say the steps and stoops are acceptable. And when we come to our description drop-down list, let's say we don't see what we want. That's not a problem. All we have to do is click in the box here and then type it in. So we'll just type in, we'll say something new. And now that's been entered. What happens is when you go to move on, this pops up. It says, hey, I don't see this in your drop-down list. Do you want to add this to your list? And if we click on yes, and we go back to our list, we'll see that what we typed in is now part of our drop-down list. And so it'll be available for this inspection as well as all of our future inspections. Next we have porch. And we're going to say the porch is marginal, that it's made of concrete, and since it's marginal, we want to talk about what the problem is. And so what we can do is we can come over here to our notes and we can simply click on this drop down here and then find what we want. So we'll say the issue is that it's missing handrails. So we've selected that, and now we're ready to move on to patio. We're going to say that the patio is not applicable. When we mark an item as not applicable, it removes it from the report. So this helps avoid questions like, why didn't you inspect my swale? And if there's not a swale, you mark it not applicable, and that just means it won't show up on the final report that you can create. You can also do the same thing with any section of the report. So let's say this particular house doesn't have a basement. All we have to do is come up top here and mark it not applicable, and now this is not going to show up on a printed report. And when we go back to lots and grounds, you'll notice that to the left of basement we now have an X. And this is a visual indicator letting you know that there's nothing else in this category that needs to be filled out for it to be complete. And of course we don't need to fill out anything because we don't need to complete anything because there's not one on the property. Moving on in lots and grounds, let's go to deck next. Now we're going to say that the deck is marginal, that it's made of treated wood, and we want to talk about what the issue is here. And again, we could come right here to our note drop down, or you can click right where it says notes and it brings up the edit notes screen. On this screen, we can select something from the dropdown. And we're going to say that there's some moisture damage. We can come back to the dropdown. We'll say uneven rise or run on steps. And if there's something else you want to change or if you want to modify this, you can simply just type it right in. So we'll say this is the other note. You can also change the color, and so we're going to go ahead and change this to red so it stands out a little bit more. And now that we have our notes set up the way we want, we'll just simply click on OK. Since we have an issue with deck, we've talked about it, but let's say we want to add a picture in. The easiest way to do this is with the drag and drop method, where you simply drag the picture you want to add and then drop it on the line you want to add it to. And so this is done by clicking on this button right here in the top right corner to restore down. You're basically going to make it so Palm Tech's not taking up the full screen. So we'll resize this a little bit. Next, you open up the folder that has your pictures for this inspection. And essentially, we just want to put them side by side. Once they're side by side, all you have to do is find the picture you want to add, click on it, then drag it, and then drop it right into the report on the line. And as you can see, this picture is now associated with our deck line. Once the picture has been added in, we can click on it, and this gives us the ability to add some markups to it. And so for the different decorations, we can do arrows, ellipses, or zooms. So let's go ahead, select arrow. You have your different colors to choose from. You simply just draw right on the picture with your mouse whatever it is you want to show. You can also add text, and so we'll say this is the issue. And the text shows up right on the picture, and you can choose where you want it to go. And you can also change the color. Once you've added all the markups you want on the picture, you simply click on OK to continue moving on. So at this point, we've shown you how to enter ratings, descriptions, notes, and add pictures. Now, let's take a look to see what our report looks like. So we're going to go ahead and resize up, so this takes up the full screen. And now we're going to go to Print Preview. And we can go to Print Preview by clicking on our Print Preview icon right here from the toolbar. And we're going to skip ahead a little because we want to see the lots and grounds section. As you can see, here's all the information from the report that we filled out. We have our ratings, we have the items with the descriptions, and then the notes we entered in, including the one that's in red. And here's the picture. It shows up right with the deck line. If we skip towards the end of the report, you'll also see their summary section. So Palm Tech is set up to automatically create a summary of anything that's marked an issue. And so at the end of the report, or you can move it to the beginning, so you'll see the category, and then all the items marked with that rating, along with the notes and then the pictures. And one thing to keep in mind as we're taking a look at this report here is this is just the standard out-of-the-box setup for the way the report looks. You have a ton of options to customize this to make it look the way you want. So if you're not a big fan of the checkboxes, not a problem. You can get rid of those. Don't like the colors? Again, you can customize all that. For more information on how to customize the way the report looks, see the video on report presentation options. Once you're done looking at the print preview, we can go ahead and click on close. It'll take us back to this main screen. When you're ready to send the report out to your client, all you have to do is just click this PDF button here, and it'll turn into a PDF and then walk you through sending an email to your client, and then you're done. This concludes the video on the basics of using Palm Tech on your desktop, laptop, or tablet PC.